Hello everyone, myself Korika and I am here to discuss about declaration of variables in C. Before knowing what is declaration of variable in C, we should know what is a variable and are they important in C programming. A variable is a named memory location that stores data during program execution. A variable stores data in the memory using a name. Variable is important because it is the primary way a program stores, manages, and manipulates data. Let us think of variable as a labeled boxes in our computer memory. So here is a diagram that I have created so that we can understand about memory location and named variable. The boxes here states the memory location and the name given here are the variable names that are stated to the memory locations. Now, what is variable declaration? A variable declaration is the process of telling the compiler what type of data a variable will store. Declaration helps in reserving a memory location. The simple syntax to declare a variable is to give the data type and the variable name. We can also declare a variable using giving its value. The same way we have to give the data type and the variable name and then state the value. So this is the simple way of declaring a variable. Then next we have the data types in C. During the declaration of a variable, we need to know that there are different types of data that can be stored in the memory. Each one has a different property. There are basically 5 types of data type, say namely in integer, float, character, double, and long double. Integer usually consists of 2 or 4 bytes of memory. Float consists of 4 bytes, character 1 byte, double 8 bytes, and long double 16 bytes. We can store these values, this data type in this data type using %d for integer, %f for float, %c or %s for character, %lf for double, and capital %LF for long double. Next come initializing a variable. Declaration only tells the compiler that a variable exists. So we need to initialize it to give it an initial value. For example, giving it say int count equals to 10, where we have initialized the count variable name as 10. When we print count, we will get the value 10. We can also assign value later in the program or tell the user to assign one. We also can assign different values at the same time for the same data type. So the next is rules for naming a variable. There are few important rules in C to declare a variable. A variable name must begin with a letter or underscore. It cannot begin with numbers or any other character rather than underscore. It can contain letters, digits, and underscore. Variable names are case sensitive, so we must keep in mind that the variable name we used while declaration must be the same when we call it. And keywords like int, float, return, etc. cannot be used as variable names because they are predefined and they are keywords. Every variable must be declared before it is used in the program, because if we don't declare a variable before we use it, it will show compiler error and we can use meaningful names. Then here is an example for valid naming and invalid naming. Total underscore marks is a valid naming. Average 1 is also a valid naming. But one number is not a valid naming because it starts with a digit, and total marks is not a valid naming because it has an invalid character that is dash rather than underscore. so it will not be valid when we name it. Now let's come to scope of variable. Variable scopes defines where a variable can be assigned inside a program. There are two ways to assign a variable in a program: locally and globally. A local variable can be assigned inside a function or inside a function, but a global variable can be assigned anywhere in the program, in any function of the program. So here is an example given for local variable as well as global variable. So next, here is an example that includes initializing and declaring of data types, different data types. Here is integer, float, double, character, and character with string. Integer consists of integer values. Float consists of decimal value with less memory, and double consists of decimal values with higher memory. Character consists of a single character, and character with string consists of a string of character. So we can also print this value using printf, and the values will be assigned by a %s, %d, %lf that we have learned before, since it will assign the value of the data type that we have created to the user by showing it as an output. So this is the code, the remaining code for printing. So now we have learned, if we sum up for this whole session, we have learned that the variable declaration is the first step to working with data in C. So it tells the compiler what kind of data will be stored and reserved the right amount of memory that we need to store that data, that particular data. So from here we have learned declaration, initialization rules of declaring a variable. So this was all for today, and thanks for watching my video. Hello everyone.